IndiGo shares its vision for powering the next chapter of India's cargo growth story.
I remember many years ago when I sort of first took up my cargo position at Cathay at the time, hearing the stat that 2% of the world's goods go by air, okay, as opposed to ocean, but it's 30% of the world's value of goods. And I think that's a phenomenal stat that still stands today. And it's that 30%, right, the value chain piece, where India has the opportunity now. And it didn't have that opportunity 15 years ago, or even 10 years ago, but it has it today. And if COVID and the Red Sea and geopolitical issues have taught us one thing, it's how fragile supply chains are and how quickly they can break and collapse, and the world can really grind to a halt. So this is India's opportunity, but it's that high-tech piece to me that has become very, very important for India, not only from a domestic point of view, right? Let's manufacture in India and distribute in India because you've got the biggest population in the world that's growing at one of the best GDP growths in the world. But it's that export bit as well. It's the hedge against China, as it were, right? So let's bring some of this to India. The quality that is being produced here and the inherent quality that India now has built into its education, etc., allows us to do this. And that, to me, is where a freighter piece comes in. There is not a single wide-body freighter registered in India. You said by the end of, I think your figure said, 2043, there's going to be 3,500 freighters left, in the world. India, by sure, is going to have part of that. And we know that there are big freighter operators here who come in and see this market is very lucrative. There's going to be room for everyone going forward, I think. And you and I think, have got a duty to try and build that up, and we will. So I see a very important role for freighters going forward. There's been a lot of, I think, improvements in process when it comes to customs, etc. One thing I'd like to see is actual consistency across the country. I often talk to shippers, for example, in China, who will favor a particular airport over others because of the interpretation of rules that are read the same everywhere but interpreted differently. So I think consistency would be great to build upon the improvements that we've made in terms of legislation, etc. An appeal to all of my airport friends to prioritize cargo. Again, it comes down to the infrastructure piece. We don't get the best space allocated by our footprints for cargo. So airports, please prioritize cargo. I know you try, but sometimes, it is tough. It is tough, and I appreciate customers having to put up with it. And linked to that, when it comes to infrastructure, the whole off-airport piece, it can be done safely. I'm convinced it being done safely, and the fact that the US and the EU permit this for origin cargo from that place tells you that it can be done safely as well. So those are my sort of 3 wish lists.